Hello lovelies, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah and this is the place where I watch basically whatever I want. And yes, welcome back army. We're here today to get into part 2 of our RM episode of our BTS solo journey. I am very excited to be here today. Now we're going to have probably a little bit of a shorter episode compared to last time because in the previous video we had basically all the music videos were longer than 3 minutes and 2 of them were 5 minutes plus. So this one I believe is going to be a little bit shorter. We're going to see though, of course. So in this one we're going to be diving into 3 music videos plus a little extra that I decided to include here because I didn't want to leave it out because I didn't notice, I should say, that one of the music videos was only a minute long. So I decided that rather than actually just stopping with that, we're going to be including a little bit of an extra, which I haven't done so before. I wanted to keep collaborations and stuff like that till perhaps later, but I decided to include a little extra. So in this one, we're going to be diving into his songs Domodachi, which I looked it up and I believe it means thanks friend or something like that in Japanese. And then we have a credit roll or Yu, which is only, like I said, a minute and a little bit. And then, so I decided to include something else, like I said. Around the World in a Day, featuring Moses Sumney, don't know who that is. And then lastly, as a little bit of an extra, something new that was released is TABLO XRM Stop the Rain official music video. So I don't think I checked if that one has any subtitles on it though, so I need to see. Yes, they do. Okay, nice. So that is what we have for today. I'm excited about it. And like I said, I was originally just going to go with 3 until I realized how short one of them was. And I thought it was because it's just a little bit of a teaser, but the song itself is actually that long, so that's why. But anyway though, that's enough of my rambling. This is the last one that we have for RM, and then we're gonna move on to Jimin. I don't know how long his is going to be because I haven't checked how many music videos he has, but I am excited though to get into basically the whole vocal line next. That's gonna be very interesting. And yeah, of course, like I mentioned I think previously, I do want to dive into their solo albums as well in the future, but I decided to start off with music videos because those are the most pressing things for me. So that is definitely going to be something. So I know that there's B-sides from Right Place, Wrong People, or I don't remember which order that is in. I know there's more B-sides to that, but I'm going to get to it in the future, and I hope that is okay with y'all. So yeah, that is what we have for today. Let's go ahead and start and see where we are headed in today's video. So yeah, let's go. Alright, lovely. So let's go ahead and get into our first music video, starting off with Domodachi. Like I said earlier, I think it means thanks friend. So I'm curious what this song is going to sound like, featuring Little Simz. I forgot to mention that earlier. I would like to make a correction, first of all, at the beginning of this video, that I said that I thought I knew what groin was going to sound like, and I was stumped. And that is because I got to know from some other clips that it was actually nuts that I was thinking about, and maybe I just mixed up those titles in my head because they're quite similar, and so I was like, oh, this is very different, but in fact it's nuts that I was thinking about. So that is going to come later on, and I'm excited to hear that song too because yeah, those lyrics are very interesting from what I've seen. But anyway though, that is enough for that correction. Let's go ahead and get into this. We're watching each of these music videos twice, and we're going to put on captions the second time we're watching it. I pause a lot, I talk a lot. That's just how it is over here. If that's not something for you, then I would suggest you go somewhere else. So, anyway, let's dive in and check out our first music video for this video. Let's go. There's this weird green line, by the way, on top, if you see that. Whoa!
Motherfuckers want a big roll. Motherfuckers need a damn patrol. I've been slugging for all kind of bullshit.
There we go.
Just not chosen. All suckers wanna get it. Take a sip, cause Johnny Boy mod up shit. All the suckers.
Woo!
I'ma lead you to the heaven group of pity. All my friends wanna get around it. All my friends wanna take it out the post. Yeah, I'm not.
This is a very interesting, a very off the walls instrumental right from the beginning, because if you saw me like trying to, because that usually happens, I like feel in the song, I like start to vibe to it, and I like try to get the vibes that I'm supposed to feel. I had a hard time trying to figure out how to like nod along to the song, because that first initial part of the instrumental was so, I'm not saying it was offbeat, but it was very like almost like the two parts were kind of like fighting each other and like kind of in a little bit of a disharmony, which is kind of very intriguing. You know what I mean? And then we kind of sort of like transitioned to this part, and now it's all starting to like melt together a little bit. So I think the beginning of this was just supposed to be very almost off the walls and like immediately be like almost off-putting and like throw the listener off of like feeling a little safe going into this, if that makes sense.
The pity all my friends when they get around it. All my friends when they taking out the
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not down with the bullshit. Get the fuck down, motherfucker, what it doing shit.
I heard a lot of swear words.
I'ma stay calm when they come with the no shit. Cause your boots are more than bullshit.
See, because now we've entered a little bit of stability, you know?
Yeah, I'm not down, motherfucker, what it bullshit. Get the fuck down. Yeah, I'm short of a bullshit.
Ooh. What? Whoa. I'm trying to figure out, I think that's Korean, but it's also like very confusing. It feels like I don't really listen to him that much anymore, because like at this point, as I've like grown and as I've like, you know, gotten older, I feel like I see a lot of like problematic things in his lyrics especially, but I still do have some love definitely for Childish Gambino and the way that his music sounds, and I kind of feel a little bit of that here. I feel like there's some African influence in some ways of like how this is structured right now, with that like kind of that vocalization that's happening, as well as the way that the actual beat and instrumental is done here, if that makes sense to you. Except it's a little bit, like I said, it's a little off-putting almost. Whoa.
Look, step in the place and they yell, go figure. Watch, I'ma go.
Hello?
For my hitter. I already told them I'm a gorilla. Simz and RM, man, it don't get bigger. Catch me in the back when my G's them. Greet them with respect when you see them. Run me up a check, I'ma need that. And give my Cody a stack, cause that's my dog, that's my homie. You and I know, aren't you phony? I set the tone, listen up closely. You know my name, but you do not know me. I've got my broskies back till the end. You can't put one hand on my friend.
Oh.
We just here for a good time every day. Nason, I'm Chi Monte.
And with that, like, not just the way that they're singing it, but the like just those hums that are happening as well. I am trying my best to like keep up with the way that I think this story in this music video is happening, but I'm just so focused on the song right now that I kind of lost the plot a little bit. I'm sorry. I'm going to like, especially for the second listen, I'm going to try my best, but I have lost the plot a little bit. Because it's such a curious song for me, at least. We're clearly trying to escape something, though. Or is it Japanese? It would make sense if it's Japanese. Hi, kid. Hello. I mean, I think it's Japanese now that I listen closer to it. Bye, kid. Whoa. Right place, wrong people. That's what it's called, yeah. Sorry, I think I got the plurals and the order wrong there, I believe, earlier. Yeah. And I was very curious. I'm going to quickly check, and I should do this more often. I'm going to quickly check who Little Simz is, so I can, like, get a vibe of, like, maybe some, like, other influences here. Yes, I thought I'd heard of this person. Well, I did hear the British accent. Yeah, I did hear the British accent, so I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. But let me see here. Rap and experimental music. Yeah, I don't know if I've heard any of her. Yes, I don't know if I've heard any of her songs. But I do like them. And it makes sense then that this perhaps has some African influence, even though I believe she was born in Britain, I think. Yeah. Lives in London. Yeah, perhaps. But I can feel maybe that there's also some of that, like, not just rap, obviously, but maybe some African influence here too, if you get my drift. But I like the song definitely. But like I said, it took me a little while to, like, get into it and, like, kind of understand how the music was flowing and how things were progressing in the song. So, like, at the beginning, I was kind of like I said, it put me in a little bit of, like, a weird place, and then I pieced it together and I was like, okay, this is very intriguing to me. But I'm just curious to see, first of all, obviously, what is being said here, because I heard a lot of swear words on R's part, and I think I heard a bit from Little Simz, her part as well. But other than that, I feel like everything was kind of a blur, including the music video too, with the story. I feel like I was just so focused, like I said, on how it actually sounded that I kind of, like I said, lost plot a little bit. So I apologize about that. But I enjoyed it, definitely. I felt it was very, very interesting and something that I feel like I don't hear enough, you know? So good on you. But let's dive into it one more time after I check. Yes, that we're good to go. So let's see what is being sung. And I might have to change the caption size, but we're going to see. Let's dive in. Yeah, they were biking in the beginning. And it's just some dudes with the drums. They were stopped.
Motherfuckers want a big raw.
Yeah, makes sense. Motherfuckers. That's really funny. I'm gonna change it just a little bit. Again, sorry about that green border. I'm assuming it's not supposed to be there, but 4K.
Just need a damn patrol. I've been slugging for a kind of bullshit. EJ Johnson, not chosen. All suckers wanna get it. Take a sip, cause Johnny Boy, I'm out of shit. All the suckers wanna hit it. I'ma lead you to the heaven group. The pity all my friends when he get around it. Always all my friends when he taking out the post. Yeah, I'm not down with the bullshit. Yeah, the fuck down, motherfucker, with the doing shit. No more goofing around, I won't cool shit. I'ma stay calm when they come with the no shit. Cause your boots are more than that bullshit. 친구들은 more than truly hot do shit. Yeah, hot get fire when Saudi. Let me go
Saudi
down with the party. Yeah, I'm not down, motherfucker, with the bullshit. Get the fuck down. Yeah, I'm short of a bullshit.
We're all friends, let's dance here. Yeah. So he's kind of like... It's kind of like in... How... If you know that chart that's like from lawful good to chaotic evil, you know that chart? This song is kind of like a chaotic good. Because what I'm getting from this is kind of a... He's trying to like reject the negativity in a way of being like dude, everything here is not that serious. All this bullshit that keeps coming into my radar, like, I just want to have a good time. I want to party. I want to drink. I want to dance. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of like, from a standpoint of like I said, you want to be good, but in a chaotic way, if that makes sense. And I appreciate that from him. I think it works really, really well, because I've already kind of seen him in that way, because he's such a, you know, and I think he talked about this in one of his previous songs about, like, the struggles of being a role model, but also just, like, it is true that he has a lot of wise words and a lot of good things that he says, because, you know, he's gone through a lot in not just the industry, but in his life. And so it's like, yeah, even though this is all kind of like a lot, you know, it's also like, yeah, speak your truth, you know. I fully understand the position, you know. I wonder who this is, though, the person who, if it's him, but like a little like just vocal effects on it, or if it's like an actual other person who does this vocal part. Let me know. Or if it's like a sample. I really don't know. Curious. So this kid is just taking this huge journey, truly.
Motherfuckers wanna build a grow, motherfuckers wanna take control. All my friends crying in a row. You won't get it, free soul, better come with it.
Look, step in the place and they yell, go figure. Watch, I'ma go all out for my hitter. I already told them I'm a gorilla. Simz and RM, man, it don't get bigger. Catch me in the back when my G's them. Greet them with respect when you see them. Run me up a check, I'ma need that. And give my Cody a stack, cause that's my dog, that's my homie. You and I know, aren't you phony? I set the tone, listen up closely. You know my name, but you do not know me. I've got my broskies back till the end. You can't put one hand on my friend. We just here for a good time every day. Nay, son, I'm Chi Monte.
Did she speak Korean? I love that.
Good time every day. Nay, son, I'm Chi Monte.
I think so. Bye-bye. And the kid is here. Guess he had some unfinished business. Curious. Yeah. I feel like it's still, because this music video itself was just so, I don't know, so curious, and there's so many things going on that I kind of, like I said, lost a little bit of what was going on here. Because somewhere this other kid joined him in on this journey here. And so I wonder, like, where, because again, there was a lot of things happening, like, visually, and so I felt like I kind of got a bit confused about the storyline here. But, you know, they were about to, like, go through this place, and then, you know, he took a long-ass journey, it seems like, with a lot of different people, just to basically kind of end up basically at the same space, because it looks like the exact same place, So that's very curious. Yeah, I wonder, I'm sure there's some like meaning behind this music video. There's some symbolism behind this music video, and I'm just dumb and I can't get it, because that's usually how it goes here. I'm not the most bright in terms of like, I understand what's going on here. You know what I mean? Like, that's not really, I'm sure that you guys don't come onto my channel for like good analysis. You come here for like an analysis of some kind, but not a really good one, because my brain does not have that capacity. But yeah, I like the song. I enjoyed it. I feel like I said though, it took a little bit for me to get it, but then afterwards I was like, ooh, this is really gorgeous. And like I said, it felt very, very meaningful in the way that the lyrics were, and then also that main line, obviously. We're all friends, we're all friends, let's dance here, you know? Felt very much like I said, kind of like a peace offering, you know what I mean? Of like, things, life is short, life is fleeting, life is not infinite, and getting caught up in basically meaningless arguments and fights are not going to advance us as a species, and is only going to cause further rifts than there already are, which they're huge rifts, you know? So that is kind of what I got from it, you know? And I appreciate that. I like that. And yeah, I especially really enjoy that vocal though in the chorus, with that like it felt very soothing, you know? Anyway, that was our first music video. Very nice. Now we're going to move on to our little itty bitty one, which is Credit Roll, or Yu, the little infamous crying face. I am really intrigued to see what this is going to be like, because it feels like I have never seen a music video that is this short. Like, a lot of times you're going to get something a lot longer than this. So I'm intrigued to see what they've packed into this, and also what the song sounds like, because it is so short. It would be really sad if this is like a favorite, because like, what am I supposed to do? Just like re-listen to it over and over and over again, because this is like Come Back to Me is like 4 times the length of this, you know, and I love that song. So let's go ahead and get into this and check it out. It's gonna be a shorty, but maybe a goodie. We'll see. Let's go. Hello there. I see we got our bleached buzz cut now. Nice. Feels very nostalgic already.
When the credits roll, do you hang tight? Do you stay inside or go to live?
Hello?
I'm so grateful for everyone's time. Hope you all had such wonderful night. When the credits roll, do you hang tight?
Ooh.
Do you stay inside or go to live? I'm so grateful for everyone's time. Hope you all had such wonderful night. When the credits roll, do you hang tight?
No. Sorry about that cut there. I don't know what it is about my computer recently. I guess maybe she's shutting down soon. I hope not, because like, I need you. But that was Credit Roll. With the parts that I could catch with, again, my processing issues, this kind of felt like a, not necessarily a love letter, but just like an appreciation letter to the people involved in this project. You know, like, I'm assuming everybody from songwriters, those who he collaborated with, camera operators, stylists, coordinators, all that jazz. I'm assuming it's supposed to be like a, thank you for what you did. When the credits roll, your effort and your help will be shown to the world. At least maybe that's that first idea, but perhaps not. But it's really a curious thing to me, at least I think, if like having this as a song in between your usual stuff is like very interesting to come across, and I kind of appreciate that he did something like this. Even though, of course, I don't know all the lyrics yet, so it's nice to. I'm gonna read them in just a second. I'm just gonna let this kind of like work itself out, so hopefully there's no buffering this time. But I appreciate that as like a lot of work from the people who are behind music videos that are not the artists is not appreciated enough. And not just like music videos itself, but like the songs too, I feel like are also often not thought about and not like taken in consideration. Like, man, there's a lot of work that is put into everything. And I talked about this recently of like, we're kind of spoiled to be like expecting things to come out like all the time. But yet we are like not taking into consideration that, hey, it takes a lot of time and a lot of people to make stuff like this. So anyway, though, we're going to see closer if I kind of got it on the money, sort of. And hopefully it doesn't buffer this time. We're going to see, though. I've loved the aesthetics of like his songs so far and music videos.
Do you hang tight? Do you stay inside or go to life? I'm so grateful for everyone's time. Hope you all had such wonderful night. When the credits roll, do you hang tight? Do you stay inside or go to life? I'm so grateful for everyone's time. Hope you all had such wonderful night. When the credits roll, do you hang tight?
Yeah, intriguing. Very much so. I feel like, especially the lines, like, because obviously, like, when we came to this part, it kind of just, like, started repeating itself. But do you stay inside or go off to life? I'm so grateful for everyone's time. Hope you had such a wonderful night. Really curious. Like I said, I feel like it is kind of a thank you, but also maybe just like an introspection, I guess. Because again, that do you stay on tight or go off in life, or something along those lines. Like, do you stay or do you leave? You know, like when the ending of something is here, like what happens after that? But like I said, it kind of feels like an open, like, just an open letter to everyone who, like, listened to his album or just enjoys his work, as like a thank you for your time. Hope you had a wonderful night. After this is done, do you stay on or do you go off leading into, you know what I mean? Like, because that's the kind of thing, is that some things I stick on to for a long time, you know what I mean? There's some songs that I still listen to every single day that I used to listen to, like, back in the day, you know? Like, But there's some things also that I visit on the channel, or I visit, in my spare time, where I'm like, this is good, but then I don't really return to it. So it's like, I assume it's kind of like are you going to stay by or maybe go somewhere else, But either way, I appreciate everyone who was here for this, which is a really cool idea. And I think it's also quite sweet, Because I think it's not often you get thanked for listening to something. At least that's how I took it. But maybe other people have different ideas about what the song is about. But hey, that's the wonderful thing about music, is we all have different interpretations about things. But yeah, I think, like I said, obviously it's just a 1-minute song, so it's kind of like there isn't much to dig your teeth into, but also, like I said, kind of got some vibes from this anyway. So yeah, that was Credit Roll, Yu, which maybe, I don't know, because Yu, like I said, is the like Korean emoticon for like crying tears. So that's intriguing to me as well, Okay, that was Credit Roll, a little shorty. Now we're going to go on to our longest one, for today at least. This is Around the World in a Day, featuring Moses Sumney. Maybe this is going to be like, because I saw him in the thumbnail, maybe this is like a Deshita situation, or not Deshita, it's a Hegum situation, where it's like, he's going to give a little, or no, that wasn't for Hegum either, it was for People, Part 2. Where he gave a little bit of like a description of the song at the end of the video, because I saw that thumbnail. Maybe though, I don't know. Maybe it is a 5-minute long song, which I wouldn't put past him because he's done so. But anyway, hopefully there's no buffering here. We're gonna see though, and if there is, I'm just gonna try my best to make it as seamless as possible in editing. So let's dive into this song as well. Let's go. Complete quiet. Very interesting.
Look around.
Oh, hello there. I was like, who's that guy? There he is.
If it's right, if it's wrong, then I'll tell you. Only time will show.
He looks so different with longer hair. I'm so used to, in all the music videos we've seen today, he's had like the buzz cut going on.
If it's right, if it's wrong, then I'll tell you. Only time will sort it out. Is it right, is it wrong? I can tell you that I've outgrown.
Look around. Say I love him.
Hello there.
Your lies. Only time will sort it out. Only time will sort it out.
I like how casual this is though. It's a nice calmness from previous stuff. Ooh! There we have it. Hello there.
If it's about that sun, only time will sort it out.
Oh my gosh.
If it's there the sun, when the time will sort it out.
So handsome.
Endless correct.
Oh, is this for?
If it's about that sun,
Is this like a behind the scenes music video? If that makes sense. Like we have some footage from like previous stuff. Maybe we're gonna see some stuff from like the other music videos as well. That'd be fun.
only time will sort it out. What's wrong is right. Yeah, start this night.
I'm assuming this is like
We'll be more
the people who worked alongside him on this album, or just good friends. I don't know. Both maybe. Ooh. Searching for crabs. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, is it him that has like an obsession with crabs? I can't remember. Who is that? Is that even a BTS member? I hope it is, and I haven't like made that up. Because there's somebody who really loves crabs, I think, in this group. Correct. Maybe, I don't know.
I see laughing all around.
I love crabs too, though. They're amazing creatures.
See laughing all around and round. I see laughing all around town. I see laughing all around.
Whoa. Oh my god, chills. That was so sudden. Is this like New Year's? Maybe? Yeah, that was so out of nowhere, having that cut in the music and just going into like, that is something that always freaks me out, is when you cut from music into like actual like just noise, you know what I mean? Like in movies, when that happens, when you go from like just regular movie into like a song number and then cut from that song number to the movie again, those moments are always like a little bit like, not off-putting in sense of like, ooh, but like it kind of throws me off for a second, and that happened here as well. It's the same with the beginning of this, because I was like, oh my god, it's just silent. But being silent is almost better than just cutting into like real world noises, you know? Go Flea.
Look around, jump around like I live that road.
Woo!
Motherfuckers in the crowd, let my whip that through. And this around, let it turn.
Ooh!
Acting like that.
Yes!
I'm around in the club and
Yes, that's for growing.
You watch the Smith test, sometimes I lose that shit, yeah.
And that's for Lost.
Back a lot of times I never did that. I can barely sleep, I got your ghost in my closet. If you want my blood, that's some tears, give me the loot, this a loot shit. You gonna roll, you roll them up every time.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I kind of probably knew how they did that for Lost, but also it's really cool to see. Just spinning. And I assume this is for pictures? Yes, in the wig. Is this a studio or is this another studio? I assume that's his, because I believe I've seen lives from this, and also I see his collectible toys. So, or yeah, just his collectibles. So I think this is his studio, right? It's been too long, guys. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, the past, the present, my past, they give it to you. 난 고장 난 내가 좋아, bitch. That's that shit.
Did you say you a bitch? Okay. Hi, Miss Dora. Oof. Oh my gosh. Please save your backs.
어떻게 나오는지 좀 궁금하긴 하다. 그냥 좀
It looked good, I think. It looked okay. All right. That was Around the World in a Day with Moses Sumney. I like that vibe a lot. It felt a lot more like indie pop music. Like, I sometimes indulge in that. I don't think it's like my favorite genre necessarily, but I like the vibe of it, and I feel like it has just like that vibe of like, you know, that feeling of like it's not necessarily cold, but it's like a rainy day, and there's also this like kind of like it's been a rainy day, It's not the best. Like, I dislike rain quite a bit. But then it stops raining, and then it's warm outside, and it's got this humidity in the air. And, like, the sun is going down. It gives me the vibe of, like, that. You know what I mean? Just, like, a warm, humid summer's night. You know? That's kind of the vibe that I got from this. Which would make sense if it was... oh, no, it was in December. Never mind. That's kind of what... At least kind of what I got from it in terms of, like, the vibe. I want to see real quick, though, if there were any concept photos. And maybe that's what, like I said, because we saw a bunch of pictures of him. Or a bunch of, like... looks of him just, like, doing stuff, I guess, if that makes sense. Yeah, that suit there. Photos. Yeah, exactly. We have him in his jacket thingy, him in his suit. That was not the best photo, but, like that. So it's kind of more... Which makes sense for the album, having a little bit more of, like, low-key sort of concept photos and, like, shootings, you know? Intriguing. But, yeah, like I said, I like that vibe. I felt it was very just, like, calming, almost, of a song. And it kind of, though, did ramp up a little bit towards, like, the last 2 minutes where we kind of, like, pick up the speed and also a little bit more of intensity with that guitar that was, like, really going ham. And so it felt kind of like a journey in a song, too, which I think is really cool. But it was just, like, a quick, like, ramping up of, like, the energy, which I was not expecting, but it came. And... yeah, I do like these music videos quite a bit, even though there's definitely something to be said about, like, you know, the effort and the thought that was put behind, like, Come Back to Me or Lost. Like, those songs clearly had a lot of creative input and a lot of, like, thinking put behind it. And I love that, and I think it's super cool to have those types of concepts of, like, creating basically... I call them movies because they basically were to me. But there's also something about these more, like, low-key, just, like, we're taking the footage from other things, or from other shoots, and just making them into a music video. I don't know. There's just something about it. It's, like, a lot, very, very charming, and very, like, down-to-earth, and it feels more personal. More of a personal viewing experience than something like Lost did, you know? But really fun. Really... just like I said, very, very nice to listen to, I would say, is my final saying here. But let's watch it one more time with the lyrics on, and obviously this is a long one, so I'm just gonna mainly pay attention to the lyrics here. Let's go. Like I said, it's so quiet. It was so quiet that it was almost like I heard my own thoughts. Or not heard my own thoughts. I heard, like, you know when you can start hearing, like, your own heartbeat? Or something like that. Or your own breathing. You notice your own breathing when it's really quiet. Like, that is something that my autistic brain cannot handle that. When it's so quiet that, like, small noises can be heard. I would rather blast music all day, every day, which is what I kind of do, than, like, hear small noises. So that was, like, very, I don't know, a little off-putting. Like, there's, like, nothing, you know?
Look around, say I love them all your life.
So I assume this is the
Time will sort it out.
person he's collaborating with.
If it's wrong, then I'll tell you.
Only time will sort it out.
Is it right? Is it wrong? I can tell you that I've outgrown.
Look around, say I love them all your life.
Hello, hello.
Only time will sort it out. Let's start the parade. If it's about to sign, only time will sort it out.
This angle was very nice.
Let's run the line. If it's their design, then the time will sort it out. Let's end masquerade. If it's about to sign, only time will sort it out. What's wrong is right. Yeah, it's our design. And we'll be watching.
And he's just sleeping. Yeah, let him take a nap. Poor man. I'm sure he was using a lot of his energy at this time. Yeah, that's a claw. Like a crab claw. Hello!
I see laughing all around and round. I see laughing all around town.
All this sort of stuff was... Like, all this sort of stuff was starting to be added. Like, a little bit of a string, and there was a little bit of, like, a trumpet sound or something like that. And they were all, like, sort of, like... Kind of... Because when I was listening to it first time, I was like, oh, this is so sudden. This was all, like... This came out of nowhere. But truly, it was more of just, like, a creeping... That was very, very subtle. But now that I listened to it the second time, I can definitely tell that it came in. But still, it's a very sudden shift of, like, having this, like, do, 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 to, like, you know?
I see laughing all around town. I see laughing all around.
Just looking at the fireworks. The audio is really good here. It feels like I'm listening to it like it's happening right outside my window.
Look around, jump around like I live that rough. Motherfuckers in the crowd, let my whip that rough. And that's around, let it tell you. I be acting like they heard you. I'm around in the club and I be stepping on like screw you. I just miss that. Sometimes I lose that shit, yeah. You hear me back a lot of times, I never did that. I can barely sleep, I got your ghost in my closet. If you want my body, that's some tears, give me the loot. There's a loot shit. I'm gonna roll, you roll them up every time. I'm gonna ride till the end of love ain't better. I never mind cause I wanna do's dance better. I'm sick and tired of the digital trendsetters. No, I ain't cool, but I'm in the mood. All the fucking numb and everything is rude in the mood. I'm a bird loud, everything's getting rather loose. And I'm both loud, and I'm down with you, let it loose. 내가 또 잠에 든다면 나를 좀 때려줘. 속이 좀 안 좋아 그래 그냥 좀 내려줘. 길을 잃고 난 뒤 경치가 더 beautiful. 내 꼴 마치고 발견되길 소원하는 분실물. 길을 잃은 우리들 we look so pitiful. 이제 작은 미소 띠며 지켜들어 충지로. Yeah, all the past, the present, my past. They give it to you. 난 고장 난 내가 좋아 bitch. That's that shit.
I'm a broken bit.
Give it to you. 난 고장 난 내가 좋아 bitch. That's that shit.
Come on, he said it. So he didn't call me a bitch, but he said I'm a broken bitch.
Give it to you. 난 고장 난
I like my broken self, bitch. That's that shit. It's really... I like that. I don't know why. I like my broken self.
내가 좋아 bitch. That's that shit. Then I tell you, now what's wrong? Is it right, is it wrong? I can tell you that I've outgrown.
Saying I love the inclusion of the recording. To spread out.
아니 어떻게 나오는지 좀 궁금하긴 하다. 그냥 좀 서서 찍읍시다. 야, 서서 찍자.
I was almost going to take out my headphones, but I forgot we had an extra today because I was so like, oh, we have 3 music videos to go through. Now we have one more. That was Around the World in a Day, featuring Moses Sumney. I feel like this was just... I was trying to grasp the lyric and get an understanding of the song, and I definitely do think that I got some themes here, but honestly, I feel like this was just honestly kind of a look into his brain. Like kind of a just a... If you... This is going to be a little grotesque, but if you open up his brain and you just looked inside and saw what was there, I think this is all just like his thoughts and just like his opinions about things. It was just a lot of like personal things, you know what I mean? And a lot of just like, I feel like poetry, to be honest. But overall, I just got a similar, I think, vibe to the first song, which for now, for some reason, I've forgotten, Domodachi, about, like, again, kind of being sick and tired of negativity and stuff, but also kind of being accepting of it in some way. Again, because he said, I like my broken self. And that is, like... I don't know why I got so stuck to that line, but I like it. I don't know why, because I think the striving to be perfect kind of kills a lot of people. Not literally, but just like, sometimes literally, but also just like metaphorically kills a lot of people's personality and like individuality, which is really... upsetting to me, you know? I think that's something that especially has been happening a lot recently, where I see people who used to be very open and very themselves start to retract a little bit based on just like how society is now and how people who say what they want to say are treated, you know? And I feel like that I've seen a lot about that from people surrounding BTS, is like saying what they want to say can create backlash, even if the things themselves are not problematic. In my opinion, some people have very off moral compasses, though, you know what I mean? But I don't even know where I was going with that, but you know, like, I feel like I've seen a lot of backlash about their writing, and, you know, I just really, I appreciate it, because I'm like, where else am I going to be able to know about this other than from the person themselves? But anyway, enough about that. I like these lyrics, though. I like the song itself. Like I said, it is kind of more of like, I have to be in a very specific mood to enjoy this type of vibe. But still, it was very... just nice to listen to, very calming, cooling, and comforting, I would say. And yeah, I don't know, this music video is also very just like, I don't know, I do like these music videos about seeing like the behind the scenes of stuff and like not having something that's like very over the top. It's quite nice. Anyway, that was all of RM's official music videos up until this point, which is quite crazy to say, because I was like so sure that with some of these guys it was going to be a lot, but I think honestly, you know, I think we're truly we're at the halfway point now, which is crazy to say. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into our last music video, though, which is Stop the Rain with TABLO and RM. Of course, I checked out their previous collab, which I really enjoyed, which was let me remember which song it is from. It's from Indigo. He did a collaboration song with him on Indigo, which was called, give me 2 minutes. It was called All Day. I did enjoy that song a lot. It is, I think, one of my favorites from the album in terms of like the vibe of it, even though Lonely has like infiltrated my brain. But I do enjoy that song quite a bit too. So I'm excited to see what another collab from them sounds like. And also it looks like this is an animated music video, which I've been getting a lot of those recently. So I think this is going to be very interesting to see. So let's dive into this and check it out as well. Let's go. Epikai.
Hello, rainy day.
Ooh. Hey, kitty. Oh.
RM.
Yes.
I'm all in. With a losing hand. Teachers call me rebel, parents call me lost, pastors call me devil, had me kneeling at the cross. Since I was young and I was called names and bossed around, back to the wall so long, call me pain's poster child. Religious home times were different. They told me I was gifted, but to unwrap my mind was wicked. I was raised by guilt, raised by shame, raised by the rod. They claim
Whoa.
heartbreak to me. Later they say, baby, all your scars are to teach and remind you you can soar higher. What good's a bird's eye view when you're in a hunter's crossfire? Sometimes I wished I got crushed in the womb, turned to dust in the womb. My scent of youth and ungodly perfume. No wonder I've always hated the adults in the room.
What? First of all, this instrumental is hitting like a perfect mixture of like being kind of just comfortable and calm, but also being clearly sad. And it's simple, but it's effective. I like it. And these lyrics, though, is this song going to fully be in English? We're going to see. But I probably will want to listen to it again. It's not too big of a deal, of course. But yeah, these lyrics, though, we're going to revisit them later as well. And also, I want to see. We're going to revisit them, so don't worry about that. But yeah, these are so, like, very raw and very emotional, clearly. Whoa. Okay, let's continue though.
Youth and ungodly perfume. No wonder I've always hated the adults in the room.
Oof. Oof. Wow. Woo.
Bad thoughts filling up my brain. Demons swimming inside my veins.
Damn.
2 seconds from falling into nothing.
Can't run away from the pain. I'm trying to stop the rain.
When I was a kid, I was convinced that I was destined for the 27 club. I'm 29, sinking in the bathtub, sipping gin, looking for another club. All the lust was a lust.
Sorry, I just... Is that something that he said previously, or is that where this comes from? Because I remember seeing discourse about this pretty recently, now that I've sort of re-entered the ARMY space again, and I'm like trying to see what's going on different parts, like ARMY Twitter, TikTok, which is like very new. I have not delved into that yet much at all. But I remember somebody talking about this, and I was like, damn, that hurts. Is this where we first got to know, or has he talked about this previously? Because like I said, that is very personal. That is so personal. Being destined for the 27th club. I mean, if you probably know, but basically, a lot of artists over the years have died at 27, including, I believe, people like Prince, I think, or not Prince. What's his face? Jimi Hendrix. And I think Amy Winehouse, I think also, and Chinese Jonghyun. Yeah, Sorry, I don't know how to really say that because it's gonna be too deep if I talk about it. You know what I mean?
When I was a kid, I was convinced that I was destined for the 27 club. I'm 29, sinking in the bathtub, sipping gin, looking for another club. All the lust wasn't lust, dust into dust. Stray after stable, dash it up to your dud.
Okay, we got a little, yeah.
Put my shadows on, but you know how much I hate my status quo.
Oh.
I know what you gotta know, my life is out of love. All the lessons learned already coming.
Blood, self.
I know what you gotta.
But you gotta know my life is out of blood. Love.
I know my life is out of love. All the lessons learned already coming out of trust.
Keep my mind steady, but it's hard to readjust. Nothing stops time, but the clock will turn to rust.
Pain and rain, this will stay the same.
Got me looking for the exit just to entertain. Pain and rain, think I'm going insane.
Gotta turn off my phone. Can't run away from the pain. I feel like I'm gone insane. Bad thoughts filling on my brain. Demons swimming inside my face.
2 seconds from falling into nothing.
Can't run away from the pain.
I'm trying to stop the rain.
It's so unfortunate that the song is in English mainly because
I'm trying to stop the rain.
Forever Rain? Is that not some other song? Yeah, it's like I said, I'm never gonna be able to listen to this song and like detach from the meaning, which is unfortunate because this is a banger.
I'm trying to stop the rain.
Icarus. Is that not Icarus? Because that was a part earlier, which I think is really, really cool. A really cool way to do the storytelling, even though this is like mainly a lyric video, of course, is like some here for the first part. I mean, we're gonna get into it again, but here, teachers called me Rebel, parents called me Icarus, which is the story about I very recently talked about, or not very recently, pretty recently talked about that myth, and I could not remember the name of the character, and I had to search it up. But Icarus is like the angel, or the guy, I think, who tried to make wings out of, I think it was something that was able to melt, and then he tried to fly into the sky, but the closer he got to the sun, the warmer it got, and his wings melted and he fell to earth. You know? And I don't know, I feel like that is very, that story is just very symbolic and can be used in many ways of like getting too close, you know, getting too close to the truth, or getting too real, to getting too open, and like that being like a bad thing because it just causes you to fall. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it here so I can remember, so it's easier for me in editing. But there was a lot of more, obviously, personal things here. And I don't know enough about TABLO to make any insight here. But with RM, he has always been pretty open, I think, about mental health. About, at least in the last few years, about his own mental health and also how important it is to, like, foster good mental health. But it also is, I can't even imagine being in the position that he is, and just like artists are in general, of having constant eyes upon you, and also like you're supposed to be a role model, but at the same time you're just like any other human, and having a lot of money and being depressed if you are is kind of not a good recipe for anything, basically, because that's very true. Like, you kind of reach a spot in your life where you've gone through so many things that are so exciting that like your brain is like, and this is a more like scientific thing, but your brain like can't hit the dopamine highs that it wants to, because you've already hit them in these like huge ways of like performing in front of like huge crowds and like that being like the peak of it. And so you try to reach those highs again, but it's impossible basically. And a way to try to do that is often to get drunk, you know what I mean? Not only to just like forget, but also to inhibit the bad emotions, because alcohol is a suppressant. So, you know, it's very intriguing. But yeah, we only had like literally like, I think like a couple seconds that were in Korean, but we're still going to dive into it, and there are English subtitles, so I'm just going to switch them on when we get to that part. So let's get into it. This guy is me though. So it's like a card game, but like the Jokers or maybe Icarus. I'm assuming these are Epic High's light sticks, I believe. Here's a guitar with a rose on it. The rose would be kind of out there, but perhaps so. Or maybe that's just something he actually owns. I assume this is a baby picture of them, maybe. Cute. I love that there's 3 light sticks. This kid is a huge fan. It's like he started listening to the song and just like entered a headspace.
TABLO. I'm all in.
Because that kind of happened to me, you know?
Teachers call me rebel, parents call me lost, pastors call me devil, had me kneeling at the cross. Since I was a youngin', I was called names and bossed around. Back to the wall so long, call me pain's poster child. Religious home times were different. They told me I was gifted, but to unwrap my mind was wicked. I was raised by guilt, raised by shame, raised by the rod. They claimed it was love, felt like heartbreak to me. Later they say, baby, all your scars are to teach and remind you you can soar higher. What good's a bird's eye view when you're in a hunter's crossfire?
I love, though, these lyrics because, I don't know. I think a lot of the times I try my best to be very, like, you know, because I do have the standpoint of, on my channel about, like, you know, whoever you are, you have a place in this fandom. And that is very true. Or fandom. I don't have a fandom. In this community, you have a space. But I do love having these lyrics about the toxic sides of religion, because I think I don't know specifically what his religion was or like what his family then believed in, but since I have the closest affiliation to Christianity and I know it the best, if you know the term like Christian love, that is kind of it, of like the claiming that the things you're doing is supposed to be a teaching, but in reality you're kind of just like causing mental scars to this child that really doesn't know better. So you're like hurting them and saying, oh no, it's just to teach you for the future, but basically all you're doing, like he's saying, is you're scarring these kids. And I think that is for a lot of people who have had negative experiences in religion, is like that is something that is left on them for years and years and years, that like that idea of like the good things are teachings, the bad things are teachings, and even if you do get hurt, it's for a greater purpose. And I imagine that cannot be good for your mental health at all.
Sometimes I wished I got crushed in the womb, turned to dust in the womb. Oof. My scent of youth and ungodly perfume. No wonder I've always hated the adults in the room.
The rain will fall into more romantic calm. When maybe the tears will fall to wash the pain away. I'm trying to stop the rain. I know what it feels like. Can't run away from the pain. I feel like I'm going insane. Bad thoughts filling up my brain. Demons swimming inside my veins. 2 seconds from falling.
kid, I was convinced that I was destined for the 27 club.
Again.
29, sinking in the bathtub, sipping gin, looking for another club. All the lust
Yeah.
wasn't lust, dust into dust. Stray after stable, dash it up to your dud. And
All right.
lust wasn't lust, dust into dust. Stray after
One trap after another. Yeah.
stable, dash it up to your dud. And every night I put my shadows on. But you know how much I hate my status quo. I know what you gotta do, my life is out of love. All the lessons learned already coming out.
Blood, sweat, and tears.
Hold
on.
I put my shadows on. But you know how much I hate my status quo. I know what you gotta know, my life is out of love. All the lessons learned already coming out of trust.
Keep my mind steady, but it's hard to readjust. Nothing stops time, but the clock will turn to rust.
Pain and rain, this'll stay the same.
Got me looking for the exit just to entertain. Pain and rain, think I'm going insane.
Gotta turn off my phone tonight. Can't run away from the pain. I feel like I'm gone insane. Bad thoughts filling on my brain. Demons swimming inside my face.
2 seconds from falling into nothing.
Can't run away from the pain.
I'm trying to stop the rain.
Just vibes. Straight up vibes. I was trying to stop the forever rain. Like I said, forever rain. Is that not a song? Is that a song? Wait. Come on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Yes, it is a song by him. I knew it. I knew it. I think I really love this song too. Hold on. I know that we're like 10 seconds away, so I'm gonna just finish this, and then it's from Mono, which I listened to like when it was released in 2018, when I was still a big army, a big stan.
I'm trying to stop the rain.
Yeah. Oof. Gorgeous, gorgeous. All right. That was all of the songs that we had today, including a little bonus collab, which is technically not an RM song because it was mainly tablos. But yeah, oof. I love the reference, like I said. I believe that was like a Blood, Sweat, and Tears thing. And then also like that reference, obviously, to Forever Rain. I want to see real quick, though, what that song sounds like again, because I definitely know that I listened to it, of course. Da, 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 da. Ever rain? Yeah, I do remember that song. Oof. What a throwback. Oh my gosh. Yes, that's crazy. I love the reference, the like tiny little references that we have, and it's really cool. Yeah, like I mentioned at the end of the previous listen, I enjoyed this song. I think it is very, like I said, it has these calming qualities. I definitely related to this child as they were falling through the sky. That was very much what I was feeling in that moment of like, I'm sure in the future as I listen to this song, it's just going to be like a feeling of like, not necessarily falling maybe, but just like floating. Because it's very much like, I don't know. It feels like a song that is supposed to be listened to when you just want to escape for a moment. Even if this song is about wanting to escape kind of just life, it also feels like it's an escape in and of itself. But yeah, heartbreaking lyrics. Don't know what else to say. I was very excited to have gotten to something, like I said, that is very new. Of course, I got to do the music video like the day it was released. But yeah, I enjoyed that. I very much did. So that was all I had for this video, and that was all that I had for RM. I'm going to be back next time for Jimin. I can't remember if I checked how many music videos he has out, but it might just be for one part. We're going to see as soon as I compile that. But thank you all for being here, and thank you for being patient. We're going to see, by the way, of course, I still have a couple weeks left until I'm officially probably going home for the summer. But we're going to see what happens then, because obviously it's going to be a lot more difficult to film anything, basically. So we're going to see what happens. But yeah, I think that is all I want to say. So thank you for watching. Let's go into the outro. I'll finish off this video. You get a gold star if you watched so far. Subscribe if you haven't done so. A lot of my viewers are not subscribed. So do so, and I would be very appreciative. We're almost on our way to 10,000 subscribers. So join us. But yeah, let's go to the outro and I'll finish off this video. Let's go. Alright, lovelies, that was all I had for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for playing enjoying with me. And yeah, sometimes I be filming, I be doing stuff, and then I don't realize how long a video is until I get to this part. So I apologize for that. But hey, that is just how life is, I guess. Sometimes you do things and you're like, whoa, that was a lot longer than I thought it was. So anyway, though, that was all, like I said, I had for RM. I found a lot of hidden bangers, or not hidden necessarily, but a lot of ones that, you know, I would have missed otherwise, which is very sad, but I am happy to have gotten to it. I have some clear favorites. I do think, like, Come Back to Me, I love. I also really enjoyed Lost, definitely. And in this one in particular, I definitely do have a like for Domodachi, and as well as Stop in the Rain here, even though that was like I said, it's mainly a TABLO XRM song, but still, I don't know, there's something about the vibes there that were very much like, this is really good. But yeah, that was all I had for his part. In Jimin's part, I have checked. We have 4 music videos, so it's gonna be a nice one and done deal. And I'm kind of scared for his. We're gonna see how that goes, because I don't know. As somebody who one of my previous biases before J-Hope for like, I don't know, it was very quick with BTS in the beginning. I had like Jungkook for like a week, I had Jimin for like a week, and then it was like J-Hope right away. So it was very quick, but because of that, I have a sweet spot for him, and I think I always will, because I've been liking edits ever since. Like, even if I haven't been keeping up with them, I'll be liking the edits, you know. But I'm very excited for that when that comes. So look forward to that for next week. But until then, I hope you guys have a nice time. So yeah, I think that was all I wanted to say. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to this channel or going over to my Patreon and checking me out over there. You can also like this video, and if you have anything to request, you can leave it down in the comments below, and hopefully I'll get to it one day. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, free pastime, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So yeah. Bye-bye!